What's up, goblins? How are you guys doing? So today you guys have been asking and asking for tips on communication and how to become better navigating your system. So we're just gonna kind of go into like the story of how we did it because we don't have a lot of extra tips from different things that we haven't done. If there's anything else that you guys feel should have been mentioned in this video, go ahead and pop it down in the comments below. But we started with very heavy amnesia barriers, and we weren't able to communicate almost at all when we very first started figuring out that we were a system. Um, Ashley was our main fronter. Mickey would front on occasion, but otherwise we didn't really have any knowledge of who was out or who was even a part of our system. So after we became more aware of our system, we constantly left out notebooks. So left out notebooks asking, hey, what's your name? Or can you let me know what you've done? Or just even a blank notebook saying, write whatever you want here. And so anyone could ask questions or make comments, and others had the option to respond when they fronted if they wanted to. It was very useful, and only a few of us were able to talk to each other internally. So having the notebooks laying around with conversations and things like that, it was almost like instant messenger, but not so instant. um, so we also used like a planner to write any of the major events or activities that we were supposed to be doing, such as going to work or having horse show when we rode horses. Um, Hopefully we'll be getting back into that real soon. That will be fun to do alter ride videos. um, and keeping a planner was really good because we could see, when people did what, and a lot of times people would write their name by it. That was kind of up to whoever wanted to be out, and if they wanted to write down. We never forced anybody to communicate. It was all, everybody kind of wanted that communication, and so we gave them the resources and tools to do so. Um, the other thing that we were never really good at was keeping a planner, or not a planner, keeping a journal. And just for us personally, we'd write in it maybe 3 days in a row and then be done with it for the next 7 months. And then we'd go back to it. And I mean, it would be good, but at our mental capacity, I don't know, we just couldn't handle it, so we just never got into journaling. But that would be really good, and we were always so envious of people who could keep journals because it would have kind of filled in the gaps for us, and we would have been able to look at, well, this happened this day, so there's proof, you know. So journaling would be a great resource if we were better at it. Once we started getting into knowing who was around, what alters we had, kind of how many, we started like getting inner dialogue, and so we started talking inwards toward ourselves. So say I'm sitting here and I was like, okay, well, I kind of want to communicate to, I don't know, K, that we need to do something about X, Y, or Z. So we would like think internally, be like, hey, Kay, if you're fronting later, could you possibly do this? And sometimes we get a response, and other times it would be radio silence. And we just kept this up over years. And so once we started like being able to speak inward, we'd speak out loud too, just to get like maybe somebody co-conscious that we couldn't communicate with, but they were there. So if you talk out loud, you could possibly communicate with them if they're somewhere close to the front. So they start fronting with you. And like I said, sometimes we got a response, other times it was radio silence, and it was just kind of what you make of it. But the key to this was the entire system really wanted to communicate with each other. And if you don't want communication, or somebody's nervous because something they do might not suit what you do, they might get nervous that maybe communicating will put them in a bad spot. And for us, we, even with even with persecutors, we would really let them just front whenever they needed to and do what they needed to do. And at the time, yes, they were sometimes harming the body, but over a lot of time, they started to relax and realize, hey, I can come out whenever I want to. I can vent about what I need to, and this encourages the communication, showing that you trust them enough to front. Um, so as we started like talking to each other internally and externally, um, we started to break down those barriers. Some alters kept video logs, some put notes where others could see them, and others just communicated in forms of artwork. They would like draw something and leave a little note underneath it, or they just draw something and it would be pretty obvious who it was. Usually they sign it. Um, and while this is more of like a story than tips, we really hope that it does help you be able to communicate better with your system. And again, if you have anything else you'd like to contribute, go ahead and pop those down in the comments, because we love to see other systems coming together and helping other systems, kind of like what we do on this channel. That's what we're all about here. The other thing that we just kind of want to talk about, get you guys excited for, is our book. So we have a Google Drive. Just don't know, we're writing something called D&D Survival Guide, and it's supposed to be a guide for systems by systems, and it doesn't matter at what point in the recovery process you are, it should be helpful to you in some way or another. If you want to be included, we have Google Docs that are for each chapter. We haven't gotten them all set up yet, but we do have 5 chapters, I believe, up that other systems can contribute with. If you have something you want to be covered, but you don't want to be featured in the book, you can message us. We have our Discord, we have Facebook, and I don't know everything on how YouTube works, but I know YouTube has a messaging system. So if you'd like to get in contact with us, go ahead and just shoot us a message. Well, that's all I have for you today, goblins, and I know this is a late video, but I hope that it was helpful to you, and we will see you in the next video.